YouTube? I'm back again today for another board game list, and today I'm excited to get into a time capsule with you and take you back to Essen 2010, and we're going to talk about the top 10 games that were released at Essen 2010. We're going to take a deep dive into those games, and a huge shout out to Emil DeMott, who had the Essen's 2010 ranked game list, because finding this information can sometimes be so difficult. So huge ups, and I also cross-checked this with some other lesson lists as well. Fantastic content. So first we have number 10, Vinhos, which eventually got remade into a much larger rectangular box, the Vinhos Deluxe, which was released in 2016. But the original Vinhos still ranks as the number 490 game. So every single game, every top 10 game from Essen 2010 is in the top 500. That's really impressive right there. So this is Vital Lacerda, who is a very famous designer, but let's check where he was. And so this was actually his second game. So Age of Steam expansion Portugal. So that was the first thing. So this was his first big game. So the other one was an expansion that he worked on. But then his first one was Vinhos and then CO2. And these are some very highly ranked games on Mars. So we have three games in the top 100. And the eventual spin-off game to this, or the second edition of this one, Vinhos Deluxe Edition, would top off at 122. But this is and this is our number 10 entry. Boy, howdy. This is going to be a great year right here. So moving on to number 9, we have London from Martin Wallace. Just a fantastic game. The theme is just so the game just beats you down and beats you down, and it fits the theme so well, and it's just a delightful little game, and it's ranked at number 447 still to this day. And Martin Wallace is one of the most prolific game designers of all time, starting in 1993. This was just another cog in the wheel. Look at this. In 2010, he released 5 other games. And of course, he has Brass Birmingham and Brass Lancashire in the top 20 games of all time. Age of Steam at 128. Just one of the most prolific designers of all time. And this is our number 9. So this was a banger of a year at Essen. Moving on to number 8. One of my low-key favorite games, Lords of Vegas. So still sitting at number 442. This is the one where you build a casino. And I do believe that they did a reprint of this one, I think, or they're going to, because this is a game that I've never really heard many people say anything bad about. Like, once they play it, they're like, oh yeah, that's a lot of fun. And still number 442 of all time. Still a game that I see people talk about and play from time to time. And it had the Up expansion, I do believe, a couple of years back, which, breathes life into that one. But designer James Ernest and Mike Selinger, which are two names that I do believe have made quite a few things as well. Kill Dr. Lucky. Oh, so this is of, what was it? The Cheap Ass Games fan. Cool. And then Lords of Vegas, Pathfinder Adventure card game, Betrayal at the House of the Hill, Axis and Allies. So a very prolific, just a bang. Wow, Essen this year. Off the chain, 2010. And that's our number 7? 6, 5. No, I think that's our number 8. Wow. Moving on. One of my top 5 games of all time. Unbelievable. King of Tokyo. By the way, sneak peek. Did you know they're doing a spin-off game called King of Monster? And it's coming out later this year, and it's going to have giant King of Tokyo things? Yes, I didn't know that as well. Unless you're watching this in future, and you're like, yeah, that's an old game, Bauer. Well, anywho, but this is King of Tokyo, 2011. Just massively, immensely popular. Still is sold. Barnes & Noble, Target, Walmart. It's one of the best gateway games of all time. It's absolutely delightful, and I don't really need to say anything else about it. It was released at Essen. And this is the number 7? The number 7. Like, how good was this year at Essen? We were feasting. And this was the year I got into the hobby, I do believe. I think it was 2011. Maybe it was, yeah, and this was, okay. No, how long have I been doing this? I don't know. I've been doing this a while. I've been doing this for a decade. All right, but King of Tokyo. So next we got Resistance. Moving on to number, oh, by the way, I forgot to look at King of Tokyo's pedigree, but it was Richard Garfield, the designer of Magic the Gathering. So it was like a huge deal. I can only imagine how big. Like, I wonder, did they have like big? I would love to have clips of Essen from this year to see what it looked like. What were the big hot games that released and announced and the buzz and everything? Because I imagine the Resistance had to be talk of the town though, because the Resistance, this little 30-minute, 5 to 10 player game, the kind of thing where you could teach it to people so easy. Like, this is a great game to demo. I would imagine if it's not too loud. But anywho, I imagine a lot of people went home and played this games in their hotels, had a blast with it, and this was the talk of the convention. I can't imagine this was not one of the games that was just buzzed about. And it just got redone by Quest, which I actually had a chance to play a couple weeks ago, and it was pretty good. I wanted to play it more. I really wanted to play it more. So, yeah, and this is designer Don Eskridge. And I will tell you, I know that this game has sold just like absolute gangbusters. Like, it is just ridiculous. And it was 309. Still number 309 game of all time, and they've done 17 other games. Looks like let's check it out by years released. I always like looking at it from that perspective. So, was this the first one? Wow! Busting in with the Resistance. Imagine that, your first game design, the number 309 game of all time. That's got to feel good. And then you come back, you say, you know what? My game wasn't even that good. I wanted to add more. Here you go. Here's the more 156. You know, I'm not saying he said that, but that's his second one. And then he just... and then you milk that cow, which, hey, no, I mean, why not? And then Abandoned Planet, and then Trying to Recapture the Glory, maybe Quest, maybe this one, Dune Betrayal, who knows? Anywho, so yeah, that's where we are, and that is the number 6. The number 6! So, what I'm telling you is, of the games released in 2010, 5 of them are probably going to be in the top 300 games of all time. That is a fantastic year at Essen. All right, moving on to the number 5 spot, we have Merchants and Marauders from Casper Argard and Christian Marcusen. Let's see where they were doing. Only thing they ever designed. All right, Casper's like, I'm out. Then Clash of Cultures Monuments, which I think came out before this. No, they came out after this. So what was the year? What was the year here? Clash of Cultures was Merchants and Marauders was 2010. This was his first design. Wow! Number 5 and number 6 first-time game designers coming in swinging. Not in the top 300, though. It's sitting at 304. Okay. Love it. So I imagine these ones caught some people off guards, too, because, wow, that's cool. What an exciting time to be a gamer. And Merchants and Marauders, I don't think this one needs a reprint, if it doesn't already have one. I bet they have one planned. I can't imagine this one's sitting dormant for that long. All right, moving on. Number 4, Sid Meiers Civilization, the board game. Sitting at the 297th spot, so we've cracked the top 300 board games of all time. This one is from Kevin Wilson, very prolific game designer. But let's see at what point. Wow, 117. 117. None of them cracking the top 100. 143, 164, 253, 297, 298, 374. Though that's insanity. That's so fantastically spectacular. Wow. That's amazing, but I want to see the year. Let's put it in that perspective. Where were they? And then I want to check that one out so much. The Stuff of Legends. All right, 2009. Wow, we got to go through 5 pages to get back to your original. So you broke in Warcraft, the board game, Mutiny. So you were well along your way. 529 with Game of Thrones, Arena Maximus 6670, Senator 1863 coming back with Doom. Oh, Fury of Dracula, Arkham Horror 374. Wow, this is all right. So I want to see. So we released Arkham Horror in 2007, and then. So your follow-up to Arkham Horror was with Descent stuff, just supporting Arkham Horror and Descent. And then you hit Cosmic Encounter! Because I'm trying to think of like how hyped and excited people would be based on game releases at Essen. And so they're swinging Cosmic Encounter 2 years before that. And then Android, which was super popular for a chunk in 2008 as well. Did we do anything in 2009? 2009, we get a bunch of stuff supporting it. Arkham Horror, we get a big box Arkham Horror expansion, and so I bet this game was just massively hyped. Sid Meier's Civilization, the board game, after Arkham Horror and Descent and Android and Cosmic Encounter, and I bet this is one that people are running to go get. Awesome. And it lived up to the hype. Top 300 board games of all time. Fantastic. And that's number 4. Moving on to number 3, Navigator. Now, I've never heard of this game. Ranked number 258, 169 all-time in strategy. Designer, Mac Gertz, who I know has made quite a few other games. Concordia, top 20. Concordia Venus, 150. Imperial, 240. Wait. Oh, they were the one. Oh, wait, that did Imperial. Wow. He's on fire. Fantastic. Followed it up with Navigator after. Oh, so I believe. So you don't understand this because you haven't seen the 2009 video, but he was in the 2009 video as well for Essen 2009 releases. Awesome. Let's see what. So what game did he release in 2009 that was on the list? It was Imperial 2030. Crushing it the next year as well. What did he do it in 2011? Ooh. Took a year off. Took a year off from crushing it. All right, but awesome Navigator, and I don't know if this one. I don't think this one is a reprint, but somebody just made a video on it 3 days ago, so it is still a jewel. 10 things to know about Navigator. This one needs a reprint. Bet that one gets a reprint in the next few years. All right, Trois. 2010. Designer Sebastian Dourges, Xavier Georges, and Elaine Orban. Apologize for the names there. And now we are in the top 100. So 2 games, the number 2 and the number 1 game that were released at Essen 2010 are in the top 100 games of all time. And then the following 8 were also just crushing it. Wow, what a time. You feel like, oh, just so good. And then, so designer here, we got Deus, Trois, Black Angel, Tournay, Selenia, Trois Dice. Just lots of high-profile stuff here. Notable games as a designer. Let's see. So was this their bust-out one, though? 2009? 2012. Wait, where's the... why aren't they listed on here? That's weird. Okay. And then Carson City, Trois. Carson City was in the last video as well. So yes, this one probably had a whole bunch of buzz around it, and it did not disappoint. Trois, still top 100 all time, even with Colts of the New. Look at Lance, little young pup Lance, and I've in video number 68. Awesome. Number 2, number 1, and a cultural phenomenon. A game that's probably sold over 1 million copies. One of the best next step gateway games. I don't think Seven Wonders for a lot of people was a gateway, but that you get those games right after you've hit the gateway point, like the Small Worlds, the Seven Wonders, games such as that. I feel like these are the ones that really just sink their teeth on people. These are the kind of games that people love so much when they first get into the hobby, and then they get deeper into the hobby, they say, I kind of hate it now. And for me, that's like Munchkin. And I hear a lot of people say it about Seven Wonders. Now, I personally still love Seven Wonders. I'm just trying to see it from their perspective, but I adore Seven Wonders, 2 to 7 players, 30 minutes. Antoine Bauza, who is, I do believe, my favorite game designer of all time, because Seven Wonders Duel, Seven Wonders, Takanoka, Ghost Stories, Hanabi, the second edition, which I haven't tried yet. But let's put it, where was he as a designer, 2010? Let's see what state he was in, so we could know just how excited people were for this game. Like, how much buzz was there for this game? What is this? 25? Where's the years? All right, so... Hanabi won the Spiel that year. So he released Hanabi in the same year. He released Mystery Express, which is in the top 2100. So the year before. So I want to get down to here. So he released Ghost Stories. Wait, no, where? So this was his first release. So this was his first release. So 5,923. Hurry Cup. So not much buzz probably when he's releasing games yet. Ghost Stories, though, is probably going to put him on the map. Because back when that was released, you got to realize this was released 14 years ago at the time of writing, and it's still in the 311 spot, Ghost Stories. This was probably a top 50 game, I would imagine, in 2008 on Board Game Geek, if not higher. And I wish, I need to talk to Scott. I think that'd be super cool if it showed you, their top positions. I'm gonna talk to Scott as soon as I get done with this. That's such a cool idea. Okay, so he released Pony Express as well, 4000, Rocket Pockets. So these are games people are enjoying. Monster Chase, which is most honestly one of the best children's games of all time. Go get it right now if you have young kids. And then Ghost Story stuff. So I imagine there was a good deal of buzz about him. And then Hanabi and Seven Wonders at the same time. Was Hanabi like a Gen Con release? Because it's not on the list? Because Seven Wonders... So is this like a Gen Con Essen 1-2 punch? Like, oh my... And then Witty Pong. Which I want to play that now. I want to see what that's about. I imagine that's about being smart with each other. But so, Antoine Bauza, this was the year, I imagine, where he just shot into the stratosphere. Actually, I'd say because I feel like he got on everybody's radar with Ghost Stories, and then Hanabi and Seven Wonders in the same year. Like, oh my gosh. And if you weren't in the hobby back then, I'll tell you what, a lot of people were playing. And then Rampage. Rampage was such a unique idea. So they changed the name to Terror in Meeple City. But this one is a fantastic game where you get these big monsters and you build a city out of meeples and Takedo. Just, oh my goodness. Takanoka, that's why he's my favorite game designer of all time, and why he holds the #1 most popular game at Essen 2010. But if you enjoy this list, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below, or give me some more ideas in the comments below of lists you'd like to see, or feedback or input on how I could make this segment better. But as always, if you're enjoying the content, please be sure to click on a bunch of the doodads and knickknacks down below, and as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.